Aloha! Today we are taking your health back with me, Wendy Loh. We are coming to you from our studios of ThinkTech Hawaii in downtown Honolulu and from my home office in Makiki. Today, I would like to introduce you to 2023 Mother of the Year Award winner, Joy Kimura. Welcome, Joy Kimura. Now let's get started. Aloha, Joy.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, I'm so excited to everyone hear your heart and what you have to say about your topic. So before we get started, please share a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, I was born and raised in Hawaii. I'm actually from Hilo, a proud graduate of Hilo High School. And I'm a single mom to two children. My daughter, Jennifer, she's currently a student at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. And my son, Jonathan, and he's a freshman at Kaiser High School.
Wow. So you are still very busy because you have two children just like myself. So I know what that means. Taxi driver, Uber Eats and all of that stuff. Right, Joy?
That's right.
And loving every minute of it. All right. Because soon before you blink, your son too will be in college and it's just you and me. And I guess we got to play some mahjong or dominoes, whatever calls our fancy. Right?
Definitely.
So I'm so honored to have you, 2023 Mother of the Year Award winner, here on my show. Can you tell us, Joy, what factors were considered for the Mother of the Year Award?
Well, American mothers, every year, they select women from diverse backgrounds across the nation and recognize them for their work and commitment to family and community. One of the things that they do consider in the selection process is community service. So for the past several years, I've been a member of Seroptimus International of Honolulu. And this year, as their president-elect, I was in charge of their service programs. So we've held a number of service program events, such as a school supply drive that was held in August, a blanket making project in October, and recently in December, we held a supply drive for a domestic violence shelter. And just this past weekend, we had our annual gala at the Halekulani. And the gala is their main fundraising event, which raises monies for scholarships. Two of the scholarships that they give out, one is called the Violet Richardson Award, and that's scholarships for women and girls who have a strong history of giving back to the community. And we also have a scholarship called Live Your Dream Award, which is awarded to women and girls who have overcome enormous obstacles such as poverty, drug or alcohol addiction, and domestic violence.
Okay, so Joy, hold that thought. So just tell me, what is a Seroptimus mean? Like, what is that word? How did it come about? What is the Seroptimus group all about?
So Seroptimus is loosely translated from Latin, and it means best for women. So Seroptimus International of Honolulu is a nonprofit that is part of Seroptimus International, which is a global service organization. There are 122 chapters and over 75,000 Seroptimists around the world.
Wow. And about how many Seroptimus organizations are there here in Oahu, or Hawaii, I should say?
Well, on Oahu, we have Seroptimus International of Honolulu. There's also a Central Oahu Seroptimus Club, Waikiki, and a new chapter that was that's based on the North Shore.
And I know, like many organizations, I'm going to let you have a shout out and to promote your organization, because it seems like it's a pretty darn good organization because you partner with other young women in the community and trying to mentor them and raise them up. So give us your 2-minute elevator speech about if I knew nothing about it and you wanted to bring me in as a Seroptimus new member, what would you be telling me?
Well, I would tell people to please consider, women and girls, to please consider joining Seroptimus. It's a great way to meet other women. It's a great way to give back to the community in a fun way. Our events are not only good for networking, but they're also a lot of fun. I know I have a picture of our gala that was recently held at the Halekulani this past Saturday.
Wow. And so, is there a fee for being a seroptimist? I mean, is there like an annual fee, or what does this entail?
There's just an annual fee
Oh,
to
okay.
join.
Uh-huh. And then when you have your lunches and your events, of course, you organize it and you invite new members to come along to see in action what you are all doing. Is that what happens? Or I don't know too much about it. And I'm just asking because I know you asked me to consider being a member, and I'm trying to get it as much as possible. So if my friends are listening to this program, that they too may sign up into your organization and help to mentor the young ladies of Hawaii. So
Yes, there's an annual fee, and we also have business and program meetings, which are basically our membership meetings. They're usually held at different locations around Honolulu. For example, we have them at restaurants, and so sometimes there's a fee just to cover our dinner. But if we bring a guest, then the club covers the dinner for the guests.
And does this group travel to other seroptimist conventions or organizations so that you guys can meet other seroptimists around the world or the nation?
Yes, there's there's a convention that's held every 2 years that's international. So this year in July, there'll be an international convention in Ireland, which I'll be going to. We
Wow.
also have founder region meetings. So there will be one in Oakland, California. And we also have a leadership meeting that's held locally here on Oahu.
Wow, exciting. So it's not just locally, but internationally and nationally. So you get to network, like you said, and be with other very much like-minded women.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a silly question, but are there any men in this seroptimist group?
Well, we have members that have their husbands or partners assist, and we call them seroptimisters. And so men are also very welcome to assist and join as well.
And congratulations, as I know that you are the president-elect for the upcoming year. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I really want to encourage other women to check out Seroptimist and the chapters around the state.
Yeah.
It's a really great way to give back. And just an example, like I mentioned before, we had a service project for the domestic violence shelter that we raised a lot of supplies for. And for privacy reasons, we just have a picture of some of the items that were given to the shelter.
Right. Wow. And so you guys start collecting and you go out to your friends and you tap all the different businesses to receive donations to give to this domestic violence shelter. Is that what you all did?
Yes, yes. It's a really good way to, we choose different organizations to assist, and it's a really good way to help the community.
Wow. I mean, how do you pick your projects throughout the course of the year? Because there's so much need here in Hawaii. You know, everywhere you turn, there is a need, whether it's financial, whether it's books or backpacks or, you know, just clothes or food. How do you choose or pick and choose what organization, nonprofits that you want to go alongside with?
Well, as president-elect, I'm in charge of the programs of service. So this year, I had the opportunity to choose which organizations to assist. So I chose the Institute for Human Services as well as the Ohia Domestic Violence Shelter.
Oh, so that's the IHS. That's a big organization in itself. I mean, they have facilities throughout the state, and they're doing wonderful work under the guidelines of Connie. And she's an amazing woman and does just so much for so many here in Hawaii, especially during the last few years where the need was so great. So get your women together. Lots of needs out there and lots of programs that you all can get to have your hands involved with. And I'm excited to hear more about what you all are doing. And I know it's not just getting your hands dirty, but like you kept mentioning, you did have your gathering at the Halekulani. I see you guys are all dressed up in Valentine colors, reds and pinks, and it looked like a lot of fun. Was it also a fundraiser, or was it just purely a gathering of women and minds?
It's actually our annual gala. It's our main fundraising event to raise money for the scholarships that we give out.
Wow. And so was there a lot of money raised? And is that money then going to different groups with the IHS?
The money raised from the gala itself, it goes to fund our scholarships. Like I mentioned, we have two main scholarships that we give out. One that helps women that have overcome enormous obstacles like poverty, drug addiction, and so forth. And the other one, which celebrates women who have a strong track record of giving back to the community.
Wow. I'm excited. I'm just really excited to learn more about what your group does. So what intrigued me a lot about you is that you two are very actively involved in many boards and organizations, one of them being the State Board of Naturopathic Medicine. Please share with us your involvement with naturopathic medicine and how it has helped you in your personal life.
Well, I was appointed in 2020 by Governor Ikeda to serve on the State Board of Naturopathic Medicine because I've been a proponent of naturopathic medicine for 17 years, around 17 years.
Wow.
And naturopathic medicine, it embraces many different types of healing modalities, such as acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, reflexology, and massage therapy, just to name a few. And the reason I'm a strong advocate of naturopathic medicine is because I've seen firsthand how it can really help people. It has helped my family so much. And I like to share one example of how it has helped me. So when I was pregnant with my second child, I developed a condition called PUPS, PUPPS. It's an acronym for a medical condition that basically pregnant women, they get this rash on their abdomen. It's usually when you're carrying a male baby and it's usually a very heavy baby, or if you're carrying multiples, such as twins or triplets, and there's no cure for this condition, you have to deliver the baby and then the rash will go away. So when I developed this, I was prescribed a steroid cream from my doctor, and it didn't really help. And it actually made the skin really thin. And so I was in so much discomfort. I had actually, my skin was so raw just because I kept scratching at it. It was just so uncomfortable. And so I went to see my naturopathic doctor, and she prescribed some traditional Chinese medicine. And I was really hesitant to take it because it contained armadillo. And, I was worried, I never taken armadillo pills before. That's what I called it. So I held on to it for a couple of days, but the discomfort was so bad that one night, in the middle of the night, I just took a pill. I was supposed to take 4 at one time. That was what the prescription was, but I just took 1 because I was afraid. But within half an hour, the itching really subsided. So I took the other 3, and by the morning, my skin was actually on its way to healing. It was incredible. It was so incredible. I called my naturopathic doctor that morning and I said, her name is I call her Dr. Lori. I said, this is amazing. I didn't realize how fast it would take effect. And she told me, Joy, I would never give you anything that would harm you or the baby. And that just really solidified my commitment and support to naturopathic medicine.
Wow, and that was an immediate response to how quickly the body responds to the right, medication, which not always has to come, from a pharmacy or a lab, but truly it came from just experience and what these naturopathic doctors concoct, I should say. These apothecarians, they go to their little tables and they start mixing these herbs and things, and then voila, you take it. And sometimes, like you, the blessing was that it was pretty immediate. And this is really good to know. And if you want to give Dr. Lori a shout out, please do so, because there may be other women, pregnant women carrying male or sons that are suffering with this condition. And I would love for them to know that they don't have to take other steroids or medications, that there is something more natural. And so, yes, thank you, Dr. Lori, for taking care of Joy and her first or her second born son. So I'm excited to know more about that as well. But I do want to ask you, does PUPS, PUPPS, have any effect on the baby while it's in your womb?
Actually, no. It's just a huge discomfort, and the only way to cure the rash is to actually deliver the baby. So the steroid cream, it doesn't alleviate the symptoms so much. It just kind of helps it a little bit, but there's a lot of adverse effects with taking steroids, especially when you're pregnant. So
Yes.
I didn't want to continue using that cream. But for traditional Chinese medicine, it's comprised of herbs and sometimes there's some other ingredients in it. But traditional Chinese medicine is centuries old, and it there's a lot that maybe we're not familiar with, but it
Right.
actually really, really works. And so, I mean, my son was actually born healthy at 10 pounds, 5 ounces.
So you kind of knew he would be a big baby because, first of all, and then you knew it would be a kind of a boy because you had the pups, which is for male, when you carry male babies and larger male babies. So right there, you proved that you carried a 10-pound, 10.5-ounce son. So high risk for you to get that, and you did. And the main thing is that you were able to combat it naturopathically and have a better experience versus going through that whole ordeal with that sensitivity on your tummy. So, I am a true believer of naturopathic Eastern medicine. You may not hear it now, but before my voice was really raspy and low. And when I was in Hong Kong, my husband said, you have to, behind every man, there's a sweet sounding woman. And my voice was lower than his. So he needed to fix my voice. So he took me to a herbalist in Hong Kong. And when we went there, it was so trippy because the guy goes and he goes, I know how to fix you. He gets a brown bag and he puts a little bit of everything in the bag, including some crickets and grass and all kinds of stuff. And you're supposed to go home and boil it and then drink it every day. Unfortunately, it didn't fix my voice. But the only reason why it was because I have a paralyzed vocal cord that wasn't detected. So the herbs couldn't help the paralysis in my throat. And so, but other than that, all my other experiences with the herbalists and the naturopathic doctors are spot on. And I will share with you or some more later if we have some time. But I know that you have a pet story that will inspire. Like, I'm a pet lover, a doggy lover. My daughter's a doggy rescuer. I want you to share with us your experience with your pet and how naturopathic medicine helped your doggy.
Okay, so I have a 10-year-old dog, and her name is Summer. She's a Jack Russell, and I adopted her from the Humane Society. And when she was around 7 years old, we took her to the vet, and she had developed a heart murmur. And as she got older, it got progressively worse. And so a few years ago, it was at stage 2. So one day, as I was feeding her, I was looking at what I was feeding her. I was feeding her dry dog food from the pet store. And I thought, I don't think this is really healthy. It looks highly processed. So I started to make my own dog food. I basically, I use ground turkey, sometimes ground beef, organic ground beef, and I just fry it with vegetables, peas, carrots, different types of vegetables. And I started to feed that to her along with some brown rice or wild rice.
Yes.
And for treats, instead of giving her, dog treats that you buy from the pet store, I started to give her pieces of fruit and vegetables and also freeze-dried organ meats. And lo and behold, a year ago, I took her to the vet and he couldn't find any sign of a heart murmur. And so I actually went to get a second opinion from another veterinary clinic, and that veterinarian as well said that my dog does not have a heart murmur, which is really amazing. If it didn't happen to me specifically and to my own dog, I wouldn't believe it. So I really believe in not only naturopathic medicine, but a naturopathic lifestyle based on proper nutrition, adequate rest, and exercise. It's amazing that, foods in itself can be very healing.
Right. Hippocrates says, you are, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, right? And so I love it that you also use the word lifestyle and not the word diet. And we never really want to stay away from the word diet. And so, yes, you changed your doggy's habits and lifestyle. And along with doing that for summer, I'm sure it made you more aware about what we are consuming as well. So the whole awareness, and that's the first thing, is education and awareness. That's the first step. But to me, success doesn't just mean that you got educated and you know what's right. But to me, success is being educated, being aware, and then taking action. So you knew what the problem could be. You made the research and you educated yourself. And then you started preparing healthier food for summer. And she changed with a different, healthier lifestyle. And so that's the same thing for us humans. And that's exactly what I try to encourage everyone here on taking your health back, is by making better choices for our bodies. And I'm sure for yourself, Joy, you must be, have you had a change in lifestyle after you experienced what Summer went through?
Well, I really noticed that because of the change in what happened to my dog, I realized that it's really important to really pay attention to not only what I eat, but what my family eats as well.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, all the choices that we make, I keep talking to myself, all the time, because I can honestly say I'm a West Side chick. I'm a West Side Titter chick. I love Spam. I love Vienna sausage. I love Spam musubis. I love all that stuff. But about 20 years ago, I prayed and I asked God, I need to get on top of my health because I'm getting bigger and I know I'm in my 40s and things are going to change. So I need all the help I could get. So then education came my way about you are what you eat. So it's been a while since I don't even buy Spam or Vienna or a lot of the other things. And I've really changed my lifestyle a lot. And so now that I'm 63 years old, I make much better choices than I did when I was 40 and in fact, raising my children. And so I also can attest to all of this. And as I said, I wanted to share with all of you one naturopathic story that involved, I was entertaining a lot of guests from out of town, and we were eating a lot of rice, sushi or sashimi and sushi bars and poke bowls. So I was eating a lot of white rice. I thought I was eating healthy because I'm eating fish and raw fish. But what happened was I was consuming a heck of a lot of white rice. And so when my guests left town, I felt that there was something wrong with my body. I'm very in tune to my body. I listen to what my body tells me, and something wasn't right. So I visited my naturopathic doctor. And he uses the probe, he does the Asian way. He looks at your tongue, he touches your body. And then he asked me, Wendy, are you here because you feel your pancreas is shutting down? And I said, yes, doctor. That's exactly why I'm here. I feel that my pancreas is shutting down and I feel different sensations in my body. And he said, yes, your pancreas has been overworked and it is shutting down right now. And we need to kickstart it back up. And so had I not visited the naturopathic doctor, had I gone to my regular doctor, she or he would have probably then prescribed medication because I was beyond borderline diabetic. My A1C was really high. My blood sugar was running high because of all the rice that I was consuming. And so he made a concoction, just like they did for you, Joy. They made a concoction. I took it for a week. I went back. He adjusted it. I took it for another week. For 3 weeks, he made me these concoctions like an apothecarian would do. And after the third week, when my pancreas rested and was up to normal capacity, my body is fine now. I don't feel the racing or the beats in my body, and my sugars have been adjusted and gotten where it's managed. And so you are what you eat. If you're aware of what the problems are, you got to change it. If you don't, you're going to get into trouble. And unfortunately, a lot of people get into trouble. So Joy, you coming out and sharing about naturopathic medicine and direction and lifestyle, it's valuable. Is there any other story that you'd like to share with the rest of us?
Well, Wendy, I would just like to encourage people who are not familiar with a naturopathic lifestyle or any of the different types of healing modalities to really give it a chance, because I'm not advocating against using conventional medicine, but a naturopathic lifestyle and naturopathic medicine can actually help maintain your health, improve your health. And so you wouldn't need to see your conventional medicine doctor, your physician as much. I would just go to see a physician for serious issues such as broken bones or dislocated shoulders or things like that. But sometimes if we give our bodies a chance, just using natural methods, we can most times the body can heal itself with the proper support and nutrition.
Right. And so again, you hit it right on the nail. And I too, if I fell and I broke my leg, of course, take me to the emergency room. Don't put no herbs on it because it's broken. But there are many other ways to just manage and to maintain your body and your overall health. And at this point, I have to give a shout out to a good and dear friend, Anthony Crisco, who is the developer of the Fashionator. And what he does is he rolls out he teaches us how to roll out our body and to allow our fascia, which is one of the larger organs in our body, allow it to flush out and circulate the toxins out of our system and release pain out of our body. And so wouldn't we all like to wake up every morning pain-free, right? And without taking medications as much as possible. So it can be done. And so like you, Joy, you did a lot of research. You found out what would work best for your pups as you were experiencing it. And of course, you saved Summer's life and you've got many more years ahead with Summer. So I'm so excited that you were able to share as much as you did. And please, anyone out there suffering with these kind of ailments, please feel free to get in touch with us. And I'm sure Joy, being appointed at the position that she has for the state, would be more than willing to guide us and direct us to more knowledge and information. So right now we have to leave it there for now, Joy. I am so excited that you were able to share with us your naturopathic journey and how it has made a great medical difference in your life, as well as your ohanas. I'm Wendy Loh, and we'll return in another week or so with another edition of Taking Your Health Back. Aloha and mahalo, Joy Kimura.
Thank you so much for watching ThinkTech Hawaii. If you like what we do, please like us and click the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Vimeo. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and donate to us at thinktechhawaii.com. Mahalo.